Yeah, it certainly seems like it's going to be a lot more intense, those battles.
Yeah, and I mean, of course, this is just the tip of the iceberg.
Right.
There's a lot more you're not seeing in the combat.
Now, what we just saw was this boss, the Hunter, just released a new enemy into the world. So can you talk a little bit about how that sort of plays into the dynamic nature of Prince of Persia?
Yeah, exactly. So imagine you're playing this level and it's not corrupted, right? The corruption is the darkness that you see everywhere. It's the traps. It's this. Tamal, can you just look over to the puddle of corruption over there on the left? It's these large sort of puddles of inert goo, if you will, that are on the walls. And it's also the material that makes up the enemies that you fight. So if you weren't playing with any of this corruption, your only challenge in this sequence would be the acrobatic pathway. Do you know which moves to do? When can you find your way through? Then the next layer of difficulty is that those big puddles of corruption, which obviously we use to sort of dynamically alter the pathways that the player can take to navigate through the world, so that if you revisit one of this level for whatever reason, and of course there are reasons to revisit it, the pathway will be modified by the changing shape of that corruption. And then the other level of the corruption is exactly what you were just talking about, these creatures. So obviously we have a variety of these creatures, and as they are introduced into the world, they also modify the acrobatic pathway, and they will combine in very interesting ways. This creature that you see here we call the tremor. What happens with the tremor is if you die, the tremor kind of swallows you and tries to suck you into the wall, and right before you do, Elika will grab you and save you and bring you back. Now imagine if there was another creature that sort of combined with this to create a different difficulty, a different acrobatic challenge in this level, or yet another one, and they all combine in interesting and different ways.
Now, one of the things we're seeing right now is Elika's using one of her magic powers to actually rebound across these magic plates. Can you talk a little bit about Elika and why she has this magic and how it's going to be used in the game?
Yeah, sure. So Elika actually discovers these magic powers at the beginning of the game, and they're sort of new to her. She doesn't recognize where these powers came from. So that's also kind of something fun that we get to play with, is her kind of coming to terms with these new magical abilities. And we've unlocked, for the sake of this demo, one of those magic powers, the rebound power that you were talking about. And there are others in the game, and the player chooses which power to unlock. It's all up to them. And again, based off of which power they unlock, different parts of the world become fully available. And I say fully available because you can already have visited an area but not been able to successfully complete the challenge because you were missing the acrobatic power necessary, the Elika power necessary to cross that gap, or whatever the case might be. And we sort of want to tie all of those, the magic powers that the player unlocks, as well as Elika's compass power that you saw Tamal using earlier, the double jump power, etc. These are all magical powers that Elika has discovered unlocking in her because of the events that transpire at the very beginning of the game.